we have Jets and the Patriots. Big divisional game, huge, because whoever was going to win this game is going to overtake the division, and Jets couldn't hold on.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this.
Okay.
You seem like you're literally exploding with impatience right now. So I'm gonna just throw this back at you. What do you want to say? What do you want to say about
Jets had what it took to win this. They did have what it took to win this. They made really bad decisions at the very end. They didn't utilize timeouts.
this? I would agree with that.
They just let the fucking Patriots just run out the clock, and they had three timeouts, and just let Patriots take their time and mosey on down, and whatever. They let the play clock go down to one, and then let them it's just like they didn't care. And then I don't understand. They make a 50-yard field goal, and but it was 1st and 10. You had first down, and you go for the field goal to go for the onside kick. And they got the onside kick back too, which is even more crazy. But even when they're kicking that field goal, while watching it, the announcers go, "Oh, that's a great decision for you get the 3 points now. You go for the onside kick, and then you have 40 seconds left to go down and score a touchdown." And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? As far as I'm concerned, it's a lot harder to go to the end zone than it is to get to field goal range. So if you get the onside kick, guess what? You're only like 20 yards away from field goal range, and you can still make it. And you might as well go for at least the end zone.
It's
It's
like,
1st and 10.
yeah, I get what you're saying because technically speaking, mathematically, I guess that's how you're thinking about it. You're like, oh, you need the same amount of points. You can get them here, you can get them later. But realistically, it's exactly what you said. It's almost like they kind of artificially extended the game by just kicking the field goal. Like they
Yeah,
kind of made it seem like they had a shot when they really had less of a shot. Yeah, I guess you want the touchdown first in a situation like that,
I would think so.
you know,
Because
because
ultimately, if they don't get that touchdown, and they got the field goal, they got the onside kick, they didn't get the
uh,
touchdown. So if you don't make that touchdown, then the field goal doesn't fucking matter. So you go for the touchdown first.
I mean, yeah, because you look at this scenario with kickers nowadays. You've had guys. I mean, the record finally got broken with Tom Dempsey. He was actually playing for the Saints when he set the old record, like 63 and a half yards,
Mm-hmm.
has been shattered. Now, I know that was Janikowski, but kickers are kicking farther is the point I'm making.
Uh
Maybe not necessarily more accurate as we've seen this season,
huh.
but the leg is there. So like let's say it's you got 3 seconds on the clock, you need 3 points, and you're still like 50 yards away, or so you got to go for a 50-yard field goal kick. I mean, it's definitely a plausible thing in the day's game. Even if you're 60, like if you just get the ball back, you might already be close enough to attempt a field goal if you had to.
Yeah.
So it would definitely you definitely got a better shot at getting a field goal after an onside kick than a touchdown when the clock's against you, when the clock's a factor, you want to be trying to get a field goal, not a touchdown if you can. So I would agree with you there for sure.
It was bizarre. It was just the playability was kind of in Jets' favor. I mean, they did do one thing. They're the first team so far this season to lead the Patriots in the fourth quarter. That's never happened yet, and
The
Jets
Patriots finally looked beatable this week. I know
they
they still
did,
won. They
and
looked beatable.
they looked beatable because the Patriots were dropping passes left and right. I think there was a time where they're in the red zone and they went three passes right into the end zone, and all three were dropped, and it was just nonstop dropping. And then all of a sudden, like it went complete other way, and the Jets were dropping passes left and right,
All right.
right during crunch time when the pressure was on. And I think the one thing that pissed me off the most is there was a point, I think it was after the 2 minute warning was done, And the announcer flat out said, "It's almost as if the Patriots know what the Jets are going to do next." I'm like, you mean the same fucking thing that they got caught cheating for? Is that what you're saying? So,
Yeah,
I don't want to like go too much into it because obviously there's kind of that's super controversial of what's, but it almost fits too perfectly of,
right.
hey, this team that got caught doing the same shit before and didn't get in trouble for it, what's to say that's not stopping them for doing it again? Because they last two times they fucking cheated, they got a little slap on the wrist from Roger Goodell to stop it, and that was it.
Hey, he tried to drop the hammer this time.
Oh, you
He
mean
got
by
shut down. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they actually the NFL filed paperwork today to appeal that ruling. So it's more of a I hate as a Saints fan to be put in a position that I'm defending Roger Goodell, but I wouldn't go so far as say as I'm defending him. As I guess I would just say that he's definitely trying to assert his authority here, and we'll see how that plays out. But I would agree with you. They haven't really faced a real punishment for any of the accusations or anything that's been brought forth. And I think the popular opinion is that every team probably does cheat to a certain extent, but at least in the last decade, they've been the most high-profile cheaters. They've had the most high-profile scandals.
I hate that argument. I hate it. The There's a lot
It
of
it is a
Pats
bad
fans
argument,
that say it's like, well,
honestly.
everybody cheats, so what's the big deal? It's like, well, if everybody actually does cheat, then first of all, I don't even watch the NFL anymore. And second of all, if everybody cheats, then apparently the Patriots are the worst fucking cheaters out there because they're getting caught twice for it in the
This
last
is what I
decade.
don't get. They're a team that's been busted for cheating, but they're so good it doesn't even seem necessary.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
the quote unquote deflated balls thing that happened in the
Ball
second
Ghazi.
half. Ball Gaza, yeah, yeah, my favorite term for the scandal. Uh, but sorry, I had to giggle like a junior high student for a second at Ball Gaza. But no, the second half. I mean, it's been beat to death at this point. But the second half, they played better than they did when they were supposedly cheating.
Yeah.
So like, it clearly didn't like. Why are they doing shit like this? It's just like I don't know. But aside from the cheating allegations, I mean, I think it's a fair statement that the Patriots are a better team than the Jets, anyways. So them coming out and pulling it together and winning this game. I mean, some of it was. I mean, the Gronkowski play is actually the most memorable one to me.
Yeah.
His touchdown was a flat out blown coverage,
Yeah.
and it's like you're not gonna cover Gronk. Well, you deserve to lose.
You know what?
Like damn.
It was that one play that happened because when it came to halftime, Gronk only had, I think, 30 yards, like
Yeah,
total. No touchdowns, or I think it was like less than 30 yards at halftime. It was like nothing that Gronk was used to. And so the Jets were shutting him down. But I think you said this, was it this past week or the week
and last
before?
week the Patriots did the same thing. They didn't really target him in the first half.
Exactly. And
Uh,
I think you're absolutely right, where it comes down to where if they're not targeting him, it's almost like the defense forgets about him. So like, the defense gets like over the confidence, saying like, "Oh well, Gronk hasn't been doing
we
anything all
got him,
game. Yeah, we got him. So like, don't worry about him because he's not playing good." And it opens up this giant play towards him.
and then Gronk smash.
Yeah, Gronk spike.
So yeah, Gronk spike, Gronk smash, Gronk hungry. I don't know.
And the other thing with the Patriots too, I gotta give Bill Belichick this kind of benefit of the doubt. Um, you can never trust a Patriots running back because you don't know which one is starting and which one is going to do good. It's I don't understand
You know
how
what?
that
I'm glad
works.
you said that because I almost forgot to mention this. Do you know who the leading rusher was for this game?
Wasn't it Tom Brady? Yeah,
So, if the Patriots have one glaring weakness there, it's that they have to throw the ball.
yeah.
So,
But that's
and that's actually funny. That's the first time that Tom Brady's been the leading rusher, which another little interesting footnote. But if you're looking to take them down anywhere, it's that you know cover Gronk, try to shut Tom Brady's tools down, make Tom Brady beat you with his lesser guys, which he's done to plenty of teams. But at
Yeah,
least make him do that. Don't let him beat you with Gronkowski. Like I think he went like eight or like in the second half 8 or 9. I mean, when he wasn't targeting Gronkowski in that first half, they were losing. You
yeah.
know, and then you let him get to Gronkowski. I think he ended up getting like 8 or 9 receptions in the second half, and that's largely why the Jets ended up losing. You know,
In I wouldn't say that necessarily that the Patriots running is their weakness because
well, if you're picking up a weakest point to the team, that's probably the weakest part of
yeah,
it.
actually, okay, when you put it that way,
I don't
that's
know if it's
true.
enough that, but if you're just looking for a starting point to where you can try to pick this team apart, I think that's where you have to start.
Patriots are so weird though because what it was originally Davis was going to be their starting running back, and then it's not like he really did anything terrible. And then they put LeGarrette Blount in, and he had really good weeks, except for this week he had
He
negative
he went
yards.
backwards.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you can get like Jonas Gray, you can get uh, James White in there. Apparently, the Patriots can just draft any fucking people from McDonald's to come as their leading rusher to come out there and do whatever. And it's weird. It's like week to week, and honestly, I feel like that's a really good strategy from Belichick because they can announce that hey, so and so is going to be our starter. So a defense that week goes like, okay, well let's focus on him, and then instead they give it to somebody else that no one's going to expect to come out here and do well. And or in this case, apparently Tom Brady was that rusher to do it.
Right.
Because who would have expected Tom Brady to be running around?
Right. I mean, Belichick's really good at diversion and
Yeah.
just deceit. Anyway, I mean, it's true though, and despite without like getting into the some of the sketchier stuff about the game, just that's really like I think one of his strongest points as a coach is that he's very hard to predict. He makes it as hard to predict what he's going to do as he possibly can.
Yeah.
Having Tom Brady, and he's going to throw the ball. I mean, he does a very good. He's very good at playing mind games without actually verbally playing mind games. You know,
Yeah.
making the other team play guessing games with what schemes he's going to throw up. So, bravo to the Patriots. They're still undefeated. The Jets. I mean, you don't look like shit like you did a few weeks ago.
I
Uh,
still believe in the Jets. I do.
it's far from over. They
Yeah.
just, it's still early. There's a lot of contenders at this point, especially in the AFC.
If you want to give
So,
Jets the biggest credit, they did one hell of a job and the best that any team has ever gotten to at Foxborough this year. If you want to give them that benefit of the doubt that they have become the closest at Foxborough to finally taking down the Patriots, and
yay, moral victories, guys.
yeah, yeah, you gotta take trophies where you can get them. All right.
We played too. Participation.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I watched it. I mean, I should get a trophy for that. Um, what it comes down to when this comes back to at home with the Jets, this go the other way. And that's all I can really hope for. You know, Jets got to keep winning games and see how it goes. But you know what? Realistically, if the Jets are going to take them down, I don't know who else is.
Yeah, they have a cupcake schedule. I don't want to like delve into that too much right now. Maybe
Dan,
talk about that more when we're doing our mid-season projections and
yeah,
stuff. But yeah,
yeah, definitely. So with that, you're giving me the thumbs up, so everything's good, just like at
right.
Six Flags. Um, with that, you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook. If you've been to Six Flags, you know what the fuck I'm
It's been a
talking
long
about.
time. I forgot.
Okay,
So,
okay. Well,
uh,
if you do or do not get my thumbs up reference with Six Flags, you leave us a comment. Or if you want to yell at me for
does that
talking.
mean that Jason Pierre-Paul couldn't work at Six Flags?
Ooh. He's got another hand.
I'm sorry, man.
He's got the other
He,
hand.
he he joked about it on Twitter. I feel like it's okay now. So
He did? I didn't even see that.
yeah, he did. I'll have to show you after this episode.
Alright, good. Yeah. Well, good for him. That's it. That's all I got. Good for him. That yeah. Moral of this game, good for Jason Pierre Paul.